What's up, guys? It's Kekoa back with another YouTube video, and our whiteboard just came in the mail. So I've been really excited about that. But going to be breaking down how you can ultimately make more of this money, right? With just an iPhone, cell phone, maybe even a laptop, plus 2 to 3 hours per day going into 2025 and beyond. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kekoa MacAuley, CEO, founder of the Modern SDR, where we teach normal everyday people just like yourself how to learn and master the skill set of sales. But in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the number one skill that will actually help you actually start earning more income in 2025, but more importantly, how to remove the only limited resource that you have, which is time, right, from the equation of ever making money again. Now, to give you some context, I graduated back at Vanderbilt University about 5 years ago, right? So I'll try to draw this little hat, but I was this little guy, and I graduated from Vandy, super happy, right? Going into the real world. I was going to go into the real world and start working, 80 to 100-hour work weeks. So that was my initial option. And this would be through consulting, this would be through investment banking, this would be through all of these very intense, very lucrative careers, but ultimately trading, the only limited resource I have for this, almost intangible store of value, which is the US dollar, right? Which, as everyone well knows, our government just prints more out of thin air, right? So kind of through my university career, right after I graduated from Vanderbilt, I realized that I did not want to trade the only limited resource I have to make more money, right? And I realized that if I wanted to remove the time that I spent that was needed and required to produce a dollar, I needed to be playing a different game, right? And I realized that there were really, only two routes that I could go down. And that was either learning, right, how to start a business, which is ultimately what I do now, right? We have about 15 or so team members at the time I'm recording this video inside our business, right? Or at the time, it could have been learning something like sales, right? Which has an uncapped income potential. You're paid on your value and not your time, right? And it's also a hell of a lot easier than starting a business, right? Because in a business, you have to learn marketing, right? You have to learn sales. You have to learn customer support. This is CSM, right? You have to learn operations. You have to learn, you need like startup capital. You need a lot of money. Most of my friends, they all start with like minimum 100K, right? To launch new businesses, right? And it's very risky. So if you're a beginner watching this video and you're looking for a way to make income here in 2025, right? A business is probably not the route that you want to take. You might want to take a route, which is something like sales, right? Remote triaging, which is, where this is going to kind of lead into the video here today. But in sales, right, you still have uncapped income, pretty much no risk, right? You just have to pay, it's a smaller investment, right? You just pay someone to actually teach you the skill sets of sales if you want to expedite that process, right? And it's only one skill. You can work fully remote. You can work fully remote and be anywhere in the world. So back in school, I realized that if I knew how to sell, then I would always be able to produce income for myself in any economy, no matter the situation, right? No matter if the economy was going up, if the economy was going down, in COVID, it was really scary. Tons of changes happened in the world, right? There was a financial crash back in 2008, right? A ton of people were left stranded. And now in 2025, with artificial intelligence expanding more rapidly than ever, it's never been more important to protect yourself and your financial future, right? Because sales, right, at the end of the day, humans connect with humans, right? If you're able to connect with other humans, you're able to walk them through a proven 3-4 step script framework, right? Which is something that we'll be covering here in this video. But if you can walk them through that framework, right, then there's no reason that you cannot print cash hand over fist, right? Well, instead of trading your time for money, trading something else, which is value, right? So how can we actually start using our cell phone and 2 to 3 hours a day, right, to start capitalizing and making more of this money, right, rather than trading our 80 to 100 hours a week inside a normal corporate job? Well, in order to start making money in this industry, we first have to actually understand the skill set of sales, right? So step one is going to be learn sales, and this specific type of sales, right, I'll call remote triaging, right? Because this is what we teach inside of our modern SDR programs and everything else. But this is called remote triaging, right? So there's generally 5 steps through a sales call, right? We'll add in the 5th step here, right? So the first step is pretty much rapport, intro, right? Rapport and intro. The next would be discovery. Right? Where we're discovering more about the current situation a prospect is in, their desired situation, and ultimately what is kind of stopping them from getting there, which is where we come in and bridge the gap with our solution, right? Then we have the pitch. We have temp check. And this is price drop. Temperature check, price drop. And then we have objections. Objections plus close, right? So we have rapport and intro, we have discovery, we have pitch, temperature check plus price drop, right? We have objection handling and close. So once we learn the skill, right, of sales, right, and remote triaging, we then want to find an influencer on social media, right? So I'll find influencer, and normally I'm going to want to find someone with like 50,000 plus followers, right? Because ideally they have a good organic lead flow process. They're running some sort of paid ads online, right? So I want to make sure that they have, with probably about 50K, followers, or run paid ads. Now, to actually make money with a business in sales, they probably need about 700 to 1,000 new leads a month, right, that you can actually talk to, right? 700 to 1K leads if you're a setter, right? And then 80 to 100 demos, right? So if you're a remote triager or like an appointment setter, right, in this industry, you make about 5 to 10% commission, kind of depends on the offer, structure, everything like that. But if there's a $10,000 product, you're helping sell, right, this $10,000 product in this remote triaging stage, you're essentially booking calls for what we call a closer, right? So you're taking some of these calls, 700 to 1,000 people you're talking to, right? And then you're going to book them over to a closer, right? You make 5% to 10% commission here. 80 to 100 leads as a demo, right? Closer, right? You make 10, 15, percent commission on average, right? So if it's a 10K product, you make 10% commission, that's $1,000 a sale, right? So if you're a closer, you take 100 demos in the month, right? You close at 20%, you're collecting, let's say 5K on average, right? Well, just from that math alone, 20 deals a month, right? So 100 calls, 20% closing rate, 20 deals, you're getting about 5K cash on the front end, right? Well, that is essentially going to be 10K in your pocket, right? Now, generally, this whole process is going to be some sort of, you guys have probably seen this online, but there's like an opt-in page. This takes us to what we call a VSL. So a VSL is a video sales letter. This is explaining more about the offer, right? So this is normally in like the info product space, things like that. That's then going to take us to like a calendar. Think of this as a calendar, right? And then a call. So to give you a breakdown, right? If you're a remote triager, you're calling these people. So the remote triager appointment setter is calling these people. And then the closer is over here. So the closer makes 10 to 15%. And then sometimes this even might be as low as like 3%, but like 3% to 10%. This kind of depends on the industry, right? So you learn sales, rapport intro, discovery, pitch, temperature check, price drop, objection handling, close. Step 2, you want to find an influencer with 50,000 followers or more, right? Or they run some sort of paid ads. 700 to 1,000 leads, right? Per, like if you're an appointment setter or remote triager, you want to make sure that they have enough lead flow that you can talk to this many leads, because that's how you're going to make like 5, 10K a month, right? With not that much effort. 80 to 100 demos a month, right? You want to make sure that they're booking that many calls if you're going to be a closer, right? So that's going to be the overall breakdown. And then number 3 is obviously make sure that it's like a 5K like minimum, but like 5 to 10K product, right? So if it's a $5,000 to $10,000 product, if you make 10% commission, right? Well, that's $500 to $1,000 in your pocket. And then simply put, right? 20 sales a month nets you 6 figures a year. Right? And that's working just a few hours a day, literally just using your cell phone or laptop, working from anywhere in the world. Right? Learn sales remote triaging, find an influencer, opt-in page, VSL, calendar, go to a call, right? Remote triager, 3 to 10%, right? And closer 15%. 5K product, 20 sales, you get 6 figures, right? Now, there's a lot more that actually goes into this whole process, right? Actually running discovery calls, how to ask skilled questions, how to handle objections, how to find the right offers, everything like that, right? So if you want to learn more about what it looks like, to actually go through this whole process, actually learn this in detail from coaches that have done this. I've personally sold just over about $5.3 million online right now, right? And we have over 1,800 students inside of our modern SDR communities as well. But if you're interested in learning more about what it looks like to actually kind of join a community like this, learn these skills, right, of remote triaging, rapport, discovery, pitch, temperature check, objection handling, close, all of this stuff, right? Then feel free to click the top link in the description. There's going to be probably a further breakdown of how remote triaging sales works. And then from there, you can go book a call with us and learn more. Or if you're wanting to chat with me personally over on Instagram, just DM me YouTube over on Instagram and I'll get back to you here as soon as possible. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this was valuable. Hopefully you guys got some good context from this and have a clear roadmap to make extra income with your phone here in 2025. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.